Hi everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in again. I thought today I would just pop on here and talk a little bit quickly about some things that I noticed that have come up in the questions, and I wanted to see if I can provide a little bit more clarification on some of those questions that you guys all had. So welcome back. Thank you so much. Let's get today started. All right, some of the comments that I have seen, or some of the things that I wanted to clear up, is the difference between a website and Shopify. So my website is Shopify. I think the confusion is coming in where you are equating Shopify to some sort of a marketplace like Etsy. And so I wanted to explain the difference on that. So Etsy is a great platform. I love Etsy. I started out on Etsy in 2008 when it was just getting off the ground. And thanks to Etsy, it really kind of gave me my start and my confidence that perhaps that I did have something here as an artist, that I could continue maybe growing this as a business. So I do love Etsy. And to sell on Etsy, it's very, it's minimal risk. It's 20 cents still to list a painting, and that painting will be up on their site for 4 months. And I believe, I think it's 5% commission rate that you have to pay. If I'm wrong on that, please somebody correct me in the comments, but I think that's still what it is about 5%, which is like nominal. It's nominal, minimal. I don't think I had enough coffee yet this morning. And so the difference between Shopify and Etsy is that Etsy is its own marketplace. So it has its own Google ranking. People are drawn to the site because of all of the advertising that they do in-house. And so you can be found on Etsy simply just because of that. What you have to kind of figure out is how to get seen in the marketplace of Etsy. And that's a whole other topic that I probably am not the one to talk about that because I haven't been on Etsy for such a long time. But I think if you are just starting out and you don't want to invest too much money on a website like Shopify or Wix or Big Cartel or any of those other shopping platform websites, then Etsy might be the place for you to just dip your toe into the water, see how it feels. It also would give you some really good feedback as to maybe, is this the right body of work that you should be trying to sell out to the masses? Maybe there's some improvement that you can be doing. I know some of you struggle with doing multiple different types of media. Not media, oh my goodness me. Medium, like sculpture, printmaking, painting, whether it be landscape, modern art, contemporary art, all of that kind of stuff. So you can kind of get a feel or a sense of how you're doing by the interaction that you get from the interaction that you get from Etsy. And that would come in terms of, I guess, the comments. I think you get comments or maybe hearts still on your page, or how many people start to follow you. That's a good, clear indication on what direction that you should be going. You should always be paying attention to the interaction, you should always be paying attention to the interaction that your art has with the world. And that is your feedback. So if you're getting lots of hearts and lots of comments and interactions on a particular painting, pay attention to what was in that painting that caused that emotion, or that caused people to want to connect with you to talk about that piece of art. That's important information. Okay, so where was I? So Shopify, I'm going to talk only about Shopify, only because that's the platform I'm with now. I can't speak about the other ones because I don't know them. I can only speak about the, from my own perspective, my own experience. By all means, I encourage you all, if you have different experiences or you have something to contribute that's beneficial, by all means, comment down below. I think people are really taking the time to read the comments. I know I'm one of those ones that do read comments. I think there's a wealth of information in there, so I encourage you all to do that. Shopify is a glorified website, if I could say it that way. I don't know if that's the right way, but websites generally just as a place where you can upload information, upload your photos and your artist statement, maybe your bio or your curriculum vitae, things like that, so people can come to and get a sense of who you are as an artist. But when you choose a platform like Shopify to be your website, then you get the addition of having the ability to sell from that website. Because it has a shopping platform built into it. And so that's why I chose Shopify, one of the reasons. And the other reason is it is a little bit expensive. I think it's about $300-400. I would say maybe $300 to $500 a year. And I thought it was an American site, but it's actually Canadian, which I'm Canadian, and I love that I finally went with a Canadian website. So that was important to me. I'm starting to switch over all my products to make sure, even though I use Liquitex and Golden, I'm really, really sorry, but I love them, and I'm not willing to give up those products. Okay, so what else was I about to say? Okay, so the thing with a Shopify is you have to have some sort of a following or Google ranking, which takes time. So if you're not ranked, obviously, if you haven't started a website yet, you're not going to be ranked in Google, and your website is just going to kind of sit in the abyss and nobody's really going to find it. So what your task is then is you need to link that website to your Instagram. And you can do that up in your bio. Instagram allows you to add one link, and it should be your website. I know I'm gonna get a flood of comments about you can use Linktree, and it gives you a whole bunch of different links that you can add onto, but I'm a bit paranoid when it comes to Linktree, only because simply it's not an approved third-party app from Instagram. Instagram was really clear on the fact that they only wanted you to be able to upload one clickable link. And so I don't wanna lose or get in trouble. I am one of those ones that don't like to get in trouble at all. I don't know why I am that way. I'm pretty sure I know that way, but I'm not about to share why I am that way. So that's the reason why I don't have Linktree. But I know a lot of you do, and I mean, it's a personal preference, it's a personal choice. You can do, if that makes you feel better, by all means, use Linktree. I'm gonna just stand by the one link, clickable link. So what you need to do is spread that website link that you have, if you're going with Shopify, to like your Facebook page, Pinterest, your Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, all of those social media sites should be capturing the link to your website. And that's how you'll start to draw traffic to your website. And that's how I'm selling my work. I know a lot of you are saying, like, are you selling your stuff on Instagram? But I have done the connection where I can list my products on Instagram, but nobody seems to be clicking on those. So I'm not really too focused on that. My focus is drawing my traffic from Instagram to go to my website. And that's how I'm selling my work. It's all through my website, and then also with some of the galleries that I have representation with, who I know are screaming at me right now because they have no new work. So I am going to try and balance that a little bit better in the next coming year. So that's the difference between having a marketplace storefront like Etsy and a Shopify/website. Is the Shopify website is you have to work at drawing your own traffic to find your website, and Etsy will bring the traffic for you, and then you have to get found within terms of Etsy. The second thing I wanted to clear up, and hopefully this time I can explain it a little bit better. I'm not sure if I will, because it's still morning. I seem to like to film in the morning and then I can paint in the afternoon, but it is what it is, and I'm trying to give you the best that I can with the little help that I have. I have no help, it's just me. Okay, so what I was trying to explain is, in terms of hearting a comment on your Instagram and also commenting below somebody else's comment, is that first hour when you post a post. Like for me, I've already shared with you all that my time to post on Instagram is 8 in the morning and noon. Sometimes I'm a little bit before, a little bit after, but I try and stay mindful of my social media account for the next hour, so that when people post, I can be very quick to respond back to you. And that's because you want to draw as much attention to that post as you can in that first hour. And that's what sends a signal to the algorithms. This is what I think It's not written in stone anywhere, and Instagram's certainly not releasing of how to get more followers. But this is what I have noticed. It also works for YouTube as well, that I try when I upload a new video up to YouTube, the algorithms send that out, and then when people start to come to that site, they'll leave me comments. All of you guys, thank you so much for all of that. And then I usually stay on so that I can respond very quickly. So I'm getting 2 for 1. It's sending a double message to the algorithm that this video or this post on Instagram is important. And I know some of you have kind of felt that it doesn't work for you or that you're not getting comments, but this takes time. I'm not saying that in the next week, because you posted 4 posts, you're gonna have, 4,000 hits. That's just not how that works. You have to keep building upon each day. So every day you're adding 1 to 2 posts on your Instagram, and you're making sure that as soon as you post that post, you are being mindful of checking that Instagram on and off for the next hour so that you can get to those comments and heart those comments and respond to them in a very quick manner. So I hope that clears that up a little bit as well. Nothing happens overnight, guys, not at all. This has been a long journey for me to get here. I started my journey in art in 2008, and it took me, well, I don't even know what year we're in, 2021. So that's a lot of years that I took the time to nurture my accounts, my social media accounts, and promote my work. I've done a multitude of art shows to get exposure. Every year, even though I was working full-time, I was still trying to exhibit. From 2015 on, I was doing at least 4 art shows a year, plus I had some galleries that I was working with. So I was working a crazy amount of hours. And I know that not everybody has the ability to do that, but I was in a position where it was just me. I have, as you can see on my Instagram, they're somewhere over here behind me on the couch, sleeping as usual. My 2 feline cats. I don't guess didn't really need to say feline, but my 2 cats. And that's all I had to take care of. Myself, my 2 cats, and that was it. I'm really selfish with my time. I'm very dedicated and I'm very focused. So I work about 12 hours a day, if not more, usually 6 days a week. And that has been consistent for, oops, I didn't turn my phone off. That has been consistent for the last 6 years. So this is not an easy, I'm gonna list my painting and sell it tomorrow. And I want you guys to not have that intention in your head. I want you to focus on the very first thing that you guys need to do. If you go back on my other videos, here's a link up here, is I say the most important thing you need to do is establish a body of work. You cannot make it in the art world if you don't have a signature style and a complete body of work. So if you haven't done that yet, just focus on that. Don't worry about your website. Don't worry about how to ship your paintings. Just paint, create, explore, and keep expanding that thirst to create something that's beautiful and unique to you. That's where you have to start. All right? So I'm gonna end it there, and I'm gonna start my day because I have tons of stuff to do. But thank you so much for tuning in. I love being able to connect with you all, and I'm loving the comments down below. I really enjoy responding to all of them. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys soon. Oh, I'm already on.